There are many different roles within cloud computing. We're going to talk about the following. We have the cloud customer. This is the person or the entity, the organization purchasing the cloud service. We have a cloud service provider. This is the entity providing the cloud service. Cloud architect is an individual who decides what cloud services an organization needs, how the organization should implement their cloud deployment, or what services they should purchase from external organizations. A cloud partner is a third-party organization or an individual, a contracted individual that can assist in cloud migration. So this organization or this person assists an organization in putting their assets on the cloud, whether that's data, whether that's applications, what have you. And the cloud access security broker is someone who manages, an entity that manages security keys. They manage identity access management tools for the organization on behalf of the organization. And usually an organization will contract a CASP, as it's called, Cloud Access Security Broker, to authenticate their users to the cloud network, to store their cryptographic keys, so perform key escrow or the proper storage of cryptographic keys, and various functions. So we're going to touch on each of these roles here. So the cloud customer, this is the entity, the person, the organization that purchases cloud services. So this could be an individual purchasing individual data storage, or using a software as a service platform like Gmail or Yahoo or Instagram or Twitter. That's a cloud customer. In some cases, those are free cloud services where all you're paying with is your data and your ability to be marketed to. In many instances, those are paid. So if you subscribe to Amazon Web Services and you purchase yourself some storage space, you'd be a cloud customer. Or an organization that would like to perform server clustering and they would like to have a backup server based in the cloud, that's also a cloud customer. So anybody purchasing cloud services is considered the cloud customer. And that's defined by their relationship, the purchase, and a purchase being made. So one entity purchasing or using services provided by another entity. The person or entity using the service is the customer. And some models may have, like in government organizations, there may not be any payment exchange between organizations. Organizations may allow other organizations to use their cloud services. Still, in those frameworks, the cloud customer is the entity using the cloud service. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Now, cloud service provider, this is the entity providing the cloud service. So Amazon Web Service, Microsoft Azure, Google, Gmail, software as a service platforms, Yahoo, etc., YouTube. These are all these are all platforms, these are all cloud services. And the entity owning those cloud services, providing those either to the public or privately or to a community, those are all cloud service providers. Okay, so we're going to abbreviate cloud service provider as CSP throughout the course. The CSP provides the power, the hardware, the data center. They control all of those aspects. They are in charge of security in any level of deployment. That's infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a service. The cloud service provider owns the data center, they own the hardware, they provide the security and the power for the devices. And then depending on the level of service, the cloud service provider will provide varying levels of support. If it's software as a service, they're going to own everything, including the operating system, and they'll own everything but the data. Okay, with platform as a service, that's scaled back. The CSP would own everything but the applications and the data. And then when you go back to infrastructure as a service, the cloud service provider would only own the data center. They provide the power, the security, and the hardware, but they wouldn't own the operating system, the applications, the software, the data. The cloud architect, this is an individual who is hired, who's a subject matter expert. And many of you, once you become CCSPs, will hopefully become cloud architects if that's what you desire. This is a person or a firm that is brought in, either hired by the organization or contracted by the organization to set up a cloud service within the organization or to manage purchase cloud services from CSPs externally. So the cloud architect examines the data and the business needs of the organization and then determines how those can be best met and solved in a cloud environment. So a cloud architect will be responsible for communicating with the CSPs. They'll be responsible for maintaining those business relationships. They'll ensure that the contract language is set up correctly to protect the needs of the cloud customer, to ensure that the cloud customer's regulatory needs are met. If the cloud customer has to comply with data standards like the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard or HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, the cloud architect will ensure that those regulations or those laws are being followed, and that the cloud services and the cloud service providers can provide a service that meshes with those needs. If the organization maintains a private cloud where the organization controls every aspect of the cloud environment, the cloud architect is mostly involved in building that cloud for the organization, designing it, and then tasking the system administrators, providing a plan for system security professionals to create a secure cloud environment within the organization. A cloud service partner is an entity or an individual who helps an organization navigate the waters within cloud computing. It helps the organization by providing technical expertise and helps the organization purchase the correct cloud services that they need. It's similar to a cloud architect, but with a cloud architect, you're more building out the cloud environment. Okay, for the cloud service partner, this might be the organization needs to purchase some cloud services. They don't need to build out an entire network or extend their network using a cloud environment. They might just need some data storage. So they would use a cloud service partner to help ensure that they're getting the right price, that they're getting the right value, the data is formatted in the correct need. Sometimes the line between cloud architect and cloud service partner can blur. But a cloud service partner is usually someone who helps an organization purchase third-party cloud services. A cloud service partner would not be building a cloud infrastructure within an organization. So that's one way to differentiate a cloud architect and a cloud service partner. So organizations with little to no cloud experience can greatly benefit by hiring a cloud service partner. And this is a possible career for many individuals who obtain the CCSP. A cloud service broker is it's a middleman between cloud service providers and customers. So they might resell cloud services. They might act as a consultant to recommend the cloud services that an organization needs, much like a cloud service partner. But the cloud service broker will maintain ongoing relationships with many different cloud service providers, and then they'll resell or they'll pitch those services to cloud customers. So they're kind of like a reseller of cloud services, and they can find a niche market, particularly with smaller organizations, where they can find a profit margin by reselling maybe a larger cloud service offering and scaling it down to service smaller organizations. Basically, the cloud service broker partners with the CSP. So they act as a partner to the CSP, and they bring money in by reselling, by contracting with those CSP to sell those services on behalf of the CSP so that the CSP benefits and the cloud customers get the best money for their value. Okay, so the cloud service broker doesn't directly own a data center, doesn't directly own any cloud services or provide them on its own. It always is reselling cloud services from a cloud service provider, existing cloud service provider.